Cineas Masquerade again, this time with how to put the Nintendo 64 version of Super Smash Bros. On your Nintendo Wii. This has not been released on the Nintendo Wii Shop channel, which is the primary reason why most people want to do this and why I'm making this video. Okay, so first of all, if you haven't installed the Homebrew channel, you should watch my tutorial on how to do that. I'll provide a link to that in the sidebar. And if you've already done that, what you're going to need this time to execute this is an SD card reader. You can plug it into the USB port of your computer so you can read your SD card. Again, your SD card doesn't have to be large, it just has to be big enough to hold the Super Smash Bros. WAD file and a couple other files. So again, mine's only 512 megabytes, so it's not too big a deal if it's not a large SD card. Okay, now that we're over at our computer, you will download the links in the sidebar according to what your current system firmware is. I'll show you in just a moment how to determine your system firmware, but it's pretty simple. You just have to look in your Wii system settings. Again, I'll show you that in just a moment. And once you've done that, you'll just have to choose from either for 3.3 or 3.4 or 3.2 and lower. And after that, you will download the file connected to the link I provide you. This is actually the Super Smash Bros. WAD file. The WAD file is just the kind of file that the Wii uses as a Wii Shop channel file, like the game file. This allows you to play the game through the Wii's current emulator. You don't actually have to use the Wii 64 emulator, and it will create a professional looking channel. So there won't be the need to go through the Homebrew channel after you have done this. And the thing with that Super Smash Bros. File is it is a torrent file. You will have to use a torrent client. I use Transmission. I recommend that for Macintosh users, or a different sort of BitTorrent client, such as BitTorrent, uTorrent, BitComet. I've heard of all of those. It's really all preference, I suppose. But you're going to need to download one of those as well as the torrent file, and once you've done that, just drag the torrent into your whatever your client is, and it will start downloading. Alright, and so now we're just going to go over to the Wii. Okay, now that we're over at our Wii, as you can see, I have actually already done this, and it does look very professional. It looks just like anything that Nintendo would provide. But first of all, I'm going to show you how to downgrade if you have 3.4 or 3.3. This won't completely downgrade your system. This will just downgrade a couple of things that will allow you to install the WAD file. Okay, first you're going to go over to this file right here, the only one that doesn't have an icon. You're going to load it. This is a modified version of the WAD manager, and again, this is only if you have 3.3 or 3.4. Alright, so you can read this if you'd like, but all you have to do is just press the A button, select the SD card slot, and you're going to want to select iOS 16-64-V257-prod.wad as the first thing that you install. After that, you should your Wii should restart. You should go back to the Homebrew channel. And this time, run the top one, iOS downgrader version 1.1. I'm not going to run it, but because I already have. And then after that, you should be able to go back and use this same one to put the Super Smash Brothers file on your Wii. The Super Smash Brothers file is actually called title.wad, and it will probably be the third one. And then for all of you who are using 3.2, you just have the file that you downloaded initially on there with the Super Smash Brothers WAD file inside of it. Your WAD manager will look a little bit more official. It is this. Other than that, other than the title, it looks exactly the same. And again, you just have to choose title.wad and install it by pressing the plus button. This shouldn't take terribly long, but I think you'll see that the way it works is so much better than if you just tried to run the ROM through Wii 64. It works beautifully. It works just as though we were running it on an N64. Just in case anybody wanted to see it, I will play it for a moment. And you have a choice of either using the classic controller or a GameCube controller. Either way will work. The controls are pretty standard, as you would expect. It's pretty much the same as if you have played Brawl or Super Smash Bros. Melee. The controls for that are basically the same. A being your primary attack, B being your special attack, X, Y jumping, L being shield, R being throw item. Let's just launch it. You can see.